Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another edition of Into the West Comics. I am Donovan, and with me today is our good and bright friend, Sonny.
Oh, I like that intro.
Yeah, you see what I did there? And the guy who caught what I just said, the smartest man in the room, Paul.
Wow, that
My
Good to
intro
see
is
you
better.
guys.
was
Well,
fantastic.
last week we had a lot of
I
fun.
deserved it.
Well, you do deserve it. You're a
Oh,
smart
okay.
gentleman.
All right,
Both of you
I'll
guys
take
are smart. Except me. So, last week we had, I don't even say it was a debate. It was more or less like being a lot more fun. We had a lot of fun with each other, I think, last week. We talked about Super Mario Bros. And video games and how could they adapt into screen and television. So today, we wanted to talk about Last of Us, but I thought we kind of all agree on Last of Us being it's going to be a really good show. We're
amazing.
really
I'm
excited
excited
for
for
it.
it.
We
Oh my
love
God.
the game. So I was like, why don't we get a list of, and I have a list right here of video games that have not been adapted
Okay.
into movies or television. And I want to know from you guys. I'm going to try and get through this as much as possible. If I don't get through all of them, then I'll name the rest, and you can leave in the comments below what you would love to see
like
as
that.
either a movie or a television show for the list that I just thought. So,
Okay.
gentlemen, I throw it to you. The first game that I'm putting up here is personally my favorite game of all time.
Oh,
It
what
is
this?
Skyrim. Is it a movie or a television show? We'll start with you, Sonny.
I think that's a movie. I think.
disagree straight out the box.
Yeah, straight off the box.
I love it.
But like on some trilogy type thing, like Lord of the Rings, like a big production movie, big story behind it, and on a cliffhanger. I have not played all of these, so I'm not like so fan of, or not informative, I would say. I just know that there's so much that goes into it, and there's so much of all these like all of these stories. I feel like it'd be a good like trilogy style. What you got?
So I think it would serve better as a television show because it is so lengthy.
Okay.
Because it is so kind of, it's almost pick your own adventure in a little. You're the Dragonborn, correct?
Yeah, you're it's a
Yeah.
true RPG, a role playing game.
You are the character,
Right.
and that's kind of like gives them a lot of wiggle room for what they want to do with the main character.
Okay.
And I think in a TV show, they would be able to explore those avenues a little bit more, have that character do more things and do more
See,
side quests,
The,
if you will.
the only reason I'm saying is because the Lord of the Rings movies were better than the TV show.
That's true.
I felt like that
But
was a
you
dig
love-
at me.
Yeah, I feel like it was a dig at me.
Both of us. I took that personally.
But, you know,
on here by myself.
here's the part in the edit where I throw to the part where Sonny said, I'm going to be unbiased today.
I'm a fan of one. I'm a fan of the other. I'm going to try and stay a little bit biased to this, or a little bit unbiased, rather.
Are you sure about that?
But
My bad.
but no,
yeah, you
I
can't
think,
mess with the editor of these shows.
Yeah,
for real.
So
I end
Game
up
of
muted
Thrones,
the whole time.
right? So Game of Thrones is fantastic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very long form book, and
Right.
the Lord of the Rings things work because those books are very finite.
Right.
Those 3 books. And the television show they're struggling a little bit with because they don't have all the rights to everything. You
Right.
wouldn't have that issue with Skyrim. And I think that's part of the reason the World of Warcraft TV show would have been better than a movie.
Yeah.
They would have had more time to flesh things out. I don't think that movie's horrible. I think it's rushed and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think a TV show would have given them more time. And that's kind of how I feel about Skyrim.
Gotcha.
Bet.
I'm going to give the point to Paul on this one because
Okay.
I agree. I've played the game ad nauseum. It is my favorite game. There's
Right.
a lot of things that are in there as far as races that
There's
are also in the
partying.
bit.
Right.
And then you being a dragonborn as well, sucking up the souls of dragons after you defeat them, and that whole storyline. It's great.
Cool.
First point goes to Paul. The second video game here on the list, which I believe is Sonny's favorite game franchise of all time. It's the God of War.
Yes.
It's both of ours.
So,
yeah.
Paul,
it's
I'm going
both
to
of
start
ours.
with you, and then we're going to go with Sonny. Is this a TV show or is this a movie?
It is a movie
Mm.
because of the grand scale of it. If you want to do the original 3 games, I know there's a bunch of little games in between, but I'm just counting the first 3 games
Yeah.
where he becomes this angry, vengeful person with all these grand scale fights with these gods.
Yeah.
That's got to be on the big screen.
Yeah.
And then with this new one, the 2 new games
Are so good.
are better stories
Than
than
movies.
99% of the movies and TV shows.
Absolutely.
It is to watch Kratos go from what he was, this angry, vengeful,
Yeah.
violent individual
Yeah.
who wanted nothing to do but kill the people who wronged him and
Yeah.
then die himself.
Yeah.
And then watch him
in
have
Blades
a
of
son.
Glory.
when Kratos in the most recent game, when he's talking to Odin in the cabin,
Mhm.
when you first meet him, and then he's like introduces him to Thor.
Oh yeah.
First of all, shout out to Richard Schiff, who plays Odin, the actor, and all the
They're
actors
great.
that are in that. It's
All of them are
unbelievable.
awesome.
Yes. So okay, movie.
There's two movie like moments that would play fantastically, and there's one like a throwaway line where he's pushing the cart in the new game where Freya says something to him about you almost died all these times. When do you think you'll die? And Kratos' answer is, death can have me when it earns me.
I see. You've never struck me as someone who fears death. That's not the problem, is it?
No. Death can have me when it earns me.
And then
I got chills when you said that, dude.
You're talking about is they go back and forth. Odin basically says, Kratos, we're going to give you what you want. We're going to leave you alone as long as you don't pursue this.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kratos wants nothing more than that, but he knows his son needs more and this place means more, even if he doesn't want to even if he doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
And he looks Odin in the face and says no.
Yeah.
That's really all you want, isn't it? So what do you say?
No.
Don't take all day.
About time.
Yep.
And then he throws down with Thor, and then we're off to the races.
Paul,
from
that
there.
sounds like a great movie. Sonny, what do you think? Movie or television show?
I'm going movie, 1,150%. I think, like you said, grand scale. It would be nice to see the flashbacks of maybe some of the stuff that he had to go through with these, these other couple games. But these last two are incredible.
See, now God of War would be a hell of a trilogy.
It would be like to see him as this angry Spartan, and then as the God of War, and then see him as a father. It's incredible.
You know what one of my favorite lines in the new game is
boy.
his son asks him, he says, what was it like to train
Oh, this
as a
is
Spartan?
amazing.
And he's like, it was unforgiving and it was difficult, type of thing. And then his son's like, why didn't you train me like that?
Did you not think I could handle
Did
it?
you not think I can handle it? And he looks at his son and says, you didn't deserve to have to handle that. You didn't deserve to have to go through that.
And there's
And I'm just like, bro,
same thing. There's
Come
little
on.
there's little lines in this movie, or excuse me, I'm already going for it. There's little lines in this game.
Directed by Sonny Hadley.
Right. That would be so amazing just to I know like a badass trailer would come out of this of some one-liner. Let's go. Something like that. And I don't think that there's no other way you can do that. I don't think even HBO would be able to have
I totally agree. So yes, we're all on the same page. Movie. Next game. Start with you, Sonny. Splinter Cell.
Oh, that is a Amazon Prime or HBO TV show. Stretch that out. A character like you think of like Jack Ryan and all these like really cool. Chris Pratt just did that. What is it? It was like the cancer list or something like the whatever
Terminal list.
Terminal list. It's because he has terminal cancer. It sounds so bad.
It made sense to me.
Yeah. That is something that could be stretched out and use like a great scale of traveling to different cities and him going on these missions.
Yes.
I'm going TV show.
Very
HBO.
good. Great.
I am going to be no fun and agree with you. I think the spy genre really lends itself to television.
For sure.
And if it was going to be a movie, it would need to be like in the vein of like Mission Impossible with
Yes.
like a bunch of movies going forward.
7 or 8
Sam
movies.
Fisher is super cool character. I never like fell in love with those games the way I have some other games.
Yeah.
But I think that would be incredibly interesting. The only reason I might say movie is because I wouldn't want Splinter Cell to get lost in the noise of all the spy movies going on and things like that. But I'm going to go TV show because I think it gives it enough time to flesh out that character and that game. And I guess like maybe the kind of difference is with like Skyrim and like Splinter Cell, the God of War. God of War is very narrative driven, whereas these games are more gameplay driven, and you have a lot of room for wiggle room to like build these characters up. And I think that would lend to television.
I would argue and say that Splinter Cell has a great story as far as Sam Fisher's arc of
Right.
being a part of the faction, and then when they do the Ghost, Splinter Cell Ghost, and then Double Agent. There's all these different games that we've gotten from him. I think that story is fascinating, but I agree with you both. Television show for sure. All right, this next one I think is kind of a combination between Splinter Cell and God of War. Metal Gear Solid. Because as far as characters are concerned, you've got a Revolver Ocelot, you've got, Snake, Solid Snake, Liquid Snake. You have all these different amazing bad guys that are in it, almost like a rogue's gambit of villains.
Yeah.
Paul, what do you think? A movie or a TV show
My
for Metal Gear
answer,
Solid?
For kind of the same reason God of War was a movie, I think Metal Gear Solid should be a movie because of what you were just saying. The antagonists, the villains, the big set piece fights, and all I feel like there's bigger characters and more cinematic fights,
Very
and
cinematic.
moments.
Yeah.
And that's why, and that's kind of, what's his name? Hideo, I can't remember the dude's name who's made all those games, but
Yes.
that's kind of, a lot of those games are like 90% cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that would lend itself really well to movies and a strong narrative form. And I would be excited to
Very
watch
good.
those movies.
Yes.
Although I agree with you, I'm going to go the other route just to see how it would happen. A TV show doing all these
Like an HBO Max one, that could be good. Yeah.
right. I think it could be good. It serves for all these characters, all these arcs. Like you can do a different story of or each episode maybe of all these different characters that you can use. I do remember beating these games and like you said, all of them being cutscenes, and I think it would be amazing just to see all of that kind of play out in that scene. There are grand scales, and I think so, but I don't know. I think I'm going TV show just to see if they could stretch out how much characters they have.
Yeah,
just to
I
learn
think that's a
about.
good point.
Yeah, I'm going TV show on this one.
Boom!
I thought about this very long and hard, and I was thinking movie would be great,
Long
like a
and
3,
hard.
Stop it.
like kind of like what you were saying. But as far as if you get, it all depends on the actor. Who are you going to get to play Snake?
Yeah.
Henry Cavill.
And
Ed Harris.
yeah. So
Ed
for
Harris
me,
could be cool. He doesn't really
so
look
for me,
like him.
I go
but-
TV show on that one.
Let's
Okay, so
go.
we
I
have
gotta
about 3
wait.
minutes left here. So I'm gonna. I have 2 more that I want to do that I need to.
You need to.
Zelda
Oh.
movie
Oh.
or television show.
we
Sonny,
we don't even have time to break it down. I think I'm going movie, bro.
Movie.
I'm going movie too.
yeah, I agree. Come on, it's Zelda.
It's
Yeah.
too-
It's
Movie.
Zelda. Being in Hyrule and
Oh,
seeing all.
movie.
Come on.
Movie.
All right. Next one, Tekken.
Oh, TV show.
TV show because of the tournament style and like
Every episode, kind of like Mortal Kombat. You know what I
think
mean?
that
Every
would be
episode
dope.
will have
And
two.
maybe
and two
that's
together.
maybe that's Mortal Kombat's issue. They keep trying to do movies when it's more.
You
TV show.
introduce each character, and at the end of the season,
They all
the season
fight.
finale, they all fight.
That would be dope. Like a character per episode. Character per
Yes.
episode.
You do a
character per
profile,
episode.
maybe on like 5 main characters, and then the last
Martial
half of the
law.
Have you ever
show.
watched Baki?
Yes.
It would be incredible. There's an anime
Yeah.
called Baki. It's like a tournament
Baki
type
the
thing.
Grappler.
It's incredible. I think they could do it just like that.
Beautiful. I think we're all in agreement there.
I think we're all in
Yeah.
agreement.
All right. Next one. This is going to be silly. Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Oh man. Animated
I think it would be an animated movie.
movie.
I
Yes.
think it would be an animated
I agree.
movie.
And it's also owned by Nintendo, so it'll be for the Super
could get
Smash
that.
Bros.
That would be
Super
super
Smash
cool.
Bros.
I think they're going to build to that.
Do it kind of like Big Hero 6 or something
Bingo.
like that. That
All
would be
right.
crazy.
Next one. BioShock.
Oh, movie.
movie.
I'm going to go neither TV or a movie.
You think it should?
I think
say-
the story should just be a video game.
Yeah,
I mean,
think
a
you know
lot
what
of- a
I
lot of
feel.
them should
I
be
don't know
like
if you have it on your list. I think Mass Effect is that.
That was my next one.
I think-
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect
stays a video game.
Stays a video game.
Yep,
'cause
same
it's
here.
so player choice based, and I just think that's better.
And then the last one I have on our list, I think you'll kind of all agree on this, but I said Grand Theft Auto. I have my own theories, but I want to hear you guys first. Grand Theft Auto.
I think
If we could stay a video game, stay a video game. But if we have to do something, TV show.
yeah,
TV.
because
Yeah.
the characters are not what sells Grand Theft Auto.
Bro,
It's the absolutely insane. Then the characters aren't bad.
No.
But the insane gameplay is what sells it.
if you got Grand Theft Auto Vice City on a TV show, bro, I would watch that all day.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
San
I think
Andreas could
that
be great.
Like
I
which
think that
Grand
if you're
Theft
going to
Auto?
do Grand Theft Auto, you do it
San
every
Andreas.
season is a different location. So you have the city from the first games,
San Andreas,
San
Liberty
Andreas,
City,
Vice City, and then in like the 4th season, you have all of them together. The 5th
You might
season,
have changed my mind.
so that would
I
be
like
what I
that.
would love to see as far as GTA, because then you could have different characters in different locations and how they all blend together. All right, so it is time for us to go. Sonny, Paul, thank you so much for joining me today as we talk video games. And
Always.
sort of debate this in a microcosm, but I think we're all in agreement for most of these as far as what we would love to see.
That works.
What would you love to see? What game would you like to see adapted into a TV or a movie? Please leave it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure you hit that subscribe, like button, and get those notifications. We are live every Thursday at 6 and content throughout the week. Paul, where can they find us?
You can find us at Into the West Comics on Instagram, at Into_Comics on Twitter, at Into the West Comics on TikTok, and Into the West Comics on Apple Music, Spotify, and any other place you might listen to a podcast. Later, y'all. Love you.
You heard the man. We'll see you nerds next week. See ya.